Hey guys, good morning everyone. Okay, just let me know if you guys can hear me. You can just type in a yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, cool. So let's get started. Let me just quickly share my screen. Give me a minute. Mm. So last class, we learned about date filters. We basically learned about filter card in detail, and we saw how we can use a lot of interactive filters and etc. over here. Right? So everybody clear till here? Any questions, any doubts? I'll start with that first.
Magna, can you start with again date filters like crisp?
Okay, cool. So this is the date filters that we had used last time. So if you see, I have put subcategory sales and total, total sales and the year of order date in columns, right? So I think there were 3 years, 2020, 2021, 2022. But when you try to put order date in filters, that's when you can see the range of date filters. Like if I take up order date and if I just put it up in the filter card, you will be able to see the range of date filters. One second. See over here, right? So from here you can choose what kind of filtering you want to do on your date. Is it based on a relative date, or like years, quarters, months, week, anything that you want. The best option is to choose range of date, because here you will be able to get a lot of options for filtering on date. If I click on date, range of dates, here you have many options. Relative dates is like from today. If you want to relatively compare, let's say last 3 years, last 3 days, or etc., last X years, whatever you want based on that. And today is like the date that it is today, like 15th February. Okay, if you want, you can change that your today's definition, you can change over here using Anchor as well. Then you can choose range of dates, like you can choose from what date to what date do you want your data to be shown. So it will basically show only for that particular date. Like if you see, I am scrolling and I'm putting it till 31st of 2022. Then you can similarly choose your starting date, your ending date, and you can choose your special things also. Like if you have some null dates, if you want to look into them into more detail, you can choose them, and likewise. That's basically what is the date filters. Is that clear?
Yes, clear. Like what is null date?
If there is any date that is missing, it's a null. So
Okay.
if you want to see only the nulls, then null date. If you want to see only the non-null dates, then the non-null dates, and likewise.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so we are good till here, everyone? Okay, great. Today what we'll see is a little bit more on calculations. How we can do different kind of calculations in Tableau, we'll see that. Okay. So start off with what I'll do is, let's say I take up my subcategory. Okay. Let's say I take up my subcategory, I take up my profit, and I take up my sales. So currently I can see for every subcategory what is the total sales and what is the total profit. But if you see whatever I'm using right now, everything is present in the whole, columns list. Everything is present. The sales, the profit, the subcategory. And if you remember, in the first day, I had talked about a generated field, right? Like, for example, if you look at orders count, it is a field that I did not create. It is a field that was already created by Tableau, which is called as a generative field. So, like a generated field, there is something else called as a calculated field. So, we will learn about calculated fields today. Calculated fields is basically creating a separate calculation or creating a separate field or a column based on your custom calculation. You can choose what you want to calculate, and based on that, you can apply that to a particular new column, and similar new measure or a similar new column will get created. Like, for example, here in for every subcategory, you have the total sales and you have the total profit. If I want to see the cost, do I already have a measure for cost? Yes or no? Do I already have a measure for cost? No, right? Obviously, I don't have the measure for cost. But I want to see cost. For every subcategory, I want to see the cost as well, right? So that I can have a fair comparison. So in this case, I need to add cost. I don't have it. I need to add it up. How do I do that? For that, what I'll do, okay, give me a minute. I'm just gonna talk a little slow today. Anyway, so for that, what I'll do is you can just click on any measure. You can click on any measure on the left hand side and click on the arrow or right click on it. Then go to create and then click on calculated fee. When you do so, a dialog box opens up. This dialog box over here will basically show you what kind of calculation you're trying to build. Here in the right hand side, you'll see a small arrow. If you click on it, your functions list collapses. If you click on it again, it expands. So you can see all the functions and etc. that it has. And Tableau has a lot of functions that you can use. You can see there are number functions. If you click on anything, it describes it as well. String functions, date functions, there is, let's say, logical functions and everything. All of these things are present over here, right? So you can see what function you really want to use and you can use that function for your calculation, right? Tableau gives you that option that you don't have to remember and you don't have to memorize your functions. Here on the right hand side, you can just scroll, have a look and choose your function and see what that function is supposed to do. Okay. So what I want to create is a cost column. So I'll quickly name it up as cost. Now what is my cost supposed to be? My cost is supposed to be the total sales that I have made minus the total profit that I have gained, right? That is cost. Am I right? Sales minus profit will give you the cost. So let's try it out. Okay. So if I directly write sales minus profit, then it won't be a measure. It will be a row wise calculation, right? So to make sure that I'm doing a measure calculation, I have to use the function sum. So I'll take sum of sales. See, it is automatically suggesting you. So it's very dynamic in nature. You don't even have to type it all alone. You can just start typing the characters and it will suggest you. So sum of sales minus sum of profit. And I'm going to click on OK. And then all I'm going to do is click on apply. So the moment you do so, if you see on the left hand side over here, on the left hand side, a new field got created which is called as cost. And if you carefully notice over here, what is the, like the symbol for cost, it's different from the rest of the measures. Rest of the measures are all hash, hash, hash. But if you look at cost, it's equal to hash. So whenever you look at a Tableau, let's say someone has done a Tableau project, and if you look at their project and you're not being able to make out from where what is coming up, look at the fields and look at their symbols. The symbols will tell you a lot. These kind of symbols show you that it is a set. These hash symbol means it's a measure. Equal to hash means it's a calculated field. So this is a calculated field that got created. Now all I'll do is I'll take it up and I'll just add it to my view or my visualization. And you can actually see what is the cost corresponding to every subcategory present over here. That's a simple calculation to start off with. So everybody clear till here? Okay, I'll show you once again how did I bring in the calculated field. So once you have to create a calculated field, from the left hand side, you can choose any measure. You can choose any measure, you can right click or click on the arrow and click on create and then calculated field. That will open up the dialog box which will give you the options to create the calculated field. Is that clear? Can you guys quickly try it out? The first calculated field, do you guys wanna just quickly try it out and let me know once you're done? Okay, I got done 4, 5, 6. Okay, cool. Let's move on to the next function. Okay, so are you guys okay if I just delete this and create the next function over here, or do you want this to stay because maybe you need it later? You can delete it, right? Okay, I just got one keep it. Sarika, rest of the guys are okay with deleting. It's okay, you can check the recording anytime. I'll just clear it for now. Because there are too many sheets that I've already created. So when I create the dashboard, it might be a little issue. Okay, so I'll just clear the sheet from here. And now I'll show you a little bit more about calculations and different kind of number calculations that we can do in Tableau. Okay, so I'll show you a simple thing. Okay, let's say I take up subcategory and let's say I take up quantity, or to be more, okay, let's take up quantity anyway. So now what it is showing me, it is basically showing me what is the total number of items or total quantity sold for every subcategory. That's what it's trying to show me, the total quantity sold for every subcategory, right? But what if I break it up like this? Basically, if you understand, for every, let's say, accessories for that matter, let's say some one day it got sold for 250 quantities, and the same day another person came and got it for, let's say, 100 quantities, right? So there can be, you know separate rows for accessories. All those separate rows are getting merged together, and that's how I'm getting an aggregated value, that accessories 2599, right? But if I want to find that what was the minimum stock, or what was the minimum quantity which was bought for accessories, and what was the maximum quantity bought for accessories, then how do I do that, right? How do I find that in Tableau? That's what we are trying to figure out. Okay, but is the problem clear for everyone? What are we trying to figure out exactly? So I'll just repeat it once again. Let's say the total mangoes that you sold, let's say the total mangoes that you sold were 50. You sold 50 mangoes in total. But I am trying to ask you that what was the minimum quantity of mangoes that you sold at a time, and what was the maximum quantity of mangoes that you sold at a time, so that we can maybe send some marketing campaigns, or we can give offers on bulk orders and etc. So that's what I'm trying to find over here. So for that, what I'll do is I'll simply, one second. Yeah, I'll simply basically just convert the sum of quantity that I have over here. Okay, from continuous, I'm converting it to discrete. Okay, okay, let me add it up over here. One second. Okay, so now if you see, for every accessories, you can see that there is so many times that these accessories were sold, like the number is huge, right? So why is it huge? Because it's showing that, accessories, one time it got sold for 16 quantities, one time it got sold for 18 quantities, 20 quantity, 21, and likewise, like there are so many, obviously there are so many sales of it, that I can see that, this particular accessories subcategory were basically sold for this amount of quantities at each time, right? That's what right now this data is showing. Is that clear for everyone? We are going step by step. Is this clear for everyone? Right? Now what I'll do, I'll convert it back to a measure of sum. It's right now in dimension. I'll convert it back to measure of sum. Okay, so we have the total sales. My bad. We'll have the total quantities sold as of now. If you convert it to dimension, you will be able to see the quantities one by one, one by one. Like accessories was once sold for one quantity, then two, and then three, and 14. So the maximum quantity sold for accessories is 14. The minimum quantity sold for accessories is one. So I can see all those details over here, right? So I'll convert it back to measure of sum. Okay. Now to find the minimum and maximum, same way. I'll click on any of the measure, right click on create calculated field. Now what I'll do is I'll quickly create two calculated fields. One is for minimum of quantity and one is for maximum of quantity. I'll name it minimum quantity as well, which is nothing but minimum of quantity, and click on OK. Okay. Give me 1 minute. Okay, now I think you will be able to see the entire screen. Okay. And same way, I'll create one more, which is going to be maximum of quantity. So again, right click on any of the measures, create calculated field, and this is going to be max of quantity. This is nothing but max of quantity column. Apply, or you can click on OK. Both of them works. So now let's take the minimum quantity and add it over here, and let's take the maximum quantity and add it over here. So now you got a deeper insight over here that though the total quantities sold for accessories were around 2500, but at one point the minimum was obviously 1 and maximum was 14, right? So you can get these deeper level of insights by using these small calculations in your data. Was this clear for everyone?
Meghna, can we put condition again on top of that? Like, let's say for 2024, what was the
Yeah,
minimum, what was the max?
yeah, you can. But that's on
If you can.
filter card. So you can add your details on filter card. We are right now doing any calculation. Completely on you. Even if you want to filter your subcategories, that is also something that you can do. All you have to do is drag the field and drop it in filters. And whatever filter you want to add, you can add it up over here.
So that year has to be there in that, right, in the existing column then.
Like for example, if you want to, you're trying to put a date filter, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So if I just drag my order date over here, and let's say choose my range of dates, and let's say I choose from 2020, and let's say I choose till only 2022. Okay. So here I have added the date. Now what I'll do is the same order date, just to see the difference. I'll add the same order date over here in the year. Or let's add it in the column. Okay. So if you see, it will show you data only till 2022. Got that?
Okay.
Okay, everybody clear till here? You guys can quickly just execute till here. Let me know once you're done. Why I'm giving you a time for execution after every calculation is that if I explain all of them in a row, you will forget what I did initially, because the calculations are simple but yet like small steps. So that's why I'm giving time for you guys to complete. Okay. So just let me know quickly if you guys are done. Okay, done. Any doubts, any questions still here? Or are we good? Are we good? Great. Let's clear the sheet. Okay. Next up, let's see a little bit more of mathematical functions. Okay. Now let's say, okay, let's take the subcategories again. And let's say I take something like profit, and let's take average profit. Okay, so when you take average profit, you will be able to see that there are decimal numbers over here, right? So right now you can just see one decimal number because it's formatted, right? It's automatically formatted. Over here, I can click on format, and I'll just go over here and change it to, let's say, 4 decimal places. Okay. So you can see that for every subcategory, what is the average profit, and you can see it in 4 decimal places. Why I did this is because when I use mathematical functions on top of it, you will be able to see how that makes a difference. Okay. So mathematical functions are like a lot of them are there. Round up, absolute, ceiling, floor, and etc. We are going to look into them. Okay, give me a minute. Yeah, okay, fine. Now, what I'll do is here I'll create a calculated field, and I'll create my first calculated field. Let's say I try to round up my profit. So what will I use? The function that I'll use is round, right? And in round, you can give what is the number that you're trying to round it up. So what am I trying to round it up? I'm trying to round out my profit. And to what number of amount of decimal do I want it to round it up to? Let's say I wanted to round it up to 2 decimal places. So I'll give 2 and I'll click on OK. And it up over here. One second, let me expand this. Yeah, right now it's by default added as sum. We'll just move it to average. Okay, and this is again going to show you in 2 decimal places. So the best way to best way to round it up is actually using the format option. So again, custom 2 decimal places, and we are done. So if you see, it got rounded up to 2 decimal places over here. Okay, and round actually is not needed as a separate function, because right away you can just right click on the measure, you can format, and you can choose 2 decimal places, because format gives you an option that herein you can showcase how do you want to display your number, and in which format do you want to display your number. So obviously all the decimal places, etc., formatting can be done right using the format. Okay, same way over here, you can create multiple more calculated fields. Like let's say I want to create ceiling. So I'll write ceiling of profit. And okay. So let's add ceiling. So if you see ceiling, again it got added at sum. So always change it to the measure that you want, which is average. So ceiling, if you see, has converted to 1 up, right? 1 level up. It has got 1 level up. That's what ceiling function ideally also does, right? It always takes 1 level up. Like if something is 7.6, it will show me the output as 8, right? So that's what ceiling has done over here. It has converted it to 1 level up, right? Same way, you can have floor. What does floor do? 1 level down. So if something is 7.6, still the floor function will give the answer as 7. That's the difference between ceil and floor. Okay. So same way, create calculated field floor. Nothing but floor of, let's say, profit. Okay.
Here, instead of giving floor profit, can we able to give like floor average of profit? Like why it is directly
Average
taking sum, na? Is it
is
possible?
average
Yes.
is the aggregate function. right? So if you give average of profit, it will firstly be only applicable to average of profit. But instead, if you make a calculation on the measure itself, you can use it up in multiple calculations. You can not only fix it for average, but sum, average, min, max, you can use it in everything. Got the difference?
Okay. Yeah.
So again, the same thing over here as well. If you see the floor, can you see the difference? That seal, what has it done? It has basically taken it to the nearest integer, but one up. And floor, what it has done is nearest integer, but one down. So that's the difference between seal and floor. And seal and floor is actually a very important function that is not only used in Tableau. It's not just about Tableau, but in general in mathematics to show any calculations. A lot of time we use seal and floor. So you can see the difference between seal and floor as well over here, right? And same way, there are a lot of mathematical functions that you can explore as well. All you need to do is over here just click on number, and you can choose what kind of functions do you want to choose or use. There are a plethora of functions that you can use up, right? So till here, is it clear for everyone? Okay, can you guys quickly complete so that we move to the next level of calculation? Okay, are we good? Shall we proceed now? I can only see 4, 5 done. So just let me know. Are we good, guys? All right, cool. Let's clear the formatting. So all that we explored till now is about number functions and calculations. We'll quickly explore some few more functions, which is basically around the string. Okay, so I'll just delete the number ones because it's no more needed right now. So I'll delete floor and I'll delete seal because it will become too many calculated fields and we won't be able to see the important measures over here. Okay, so just to keep it clean, I'm going to just delete it out. Okay, cool. Now I'll just show you around a little bit around the string function so that again, when you're formatting strings, when you're using strings, you will be able to understand how can you utilize the data better. Okay, let's say I have product name. So with product name, if you see, there are so many products that we have right now. Okay, and here, let's not add any measure. Let's just have product name for now. Okay. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to utilize string functions to show you how can you format or how can you utilize different products that are present over here. So firstly, over here, you can click on format. When you click on format, you will be able to change the color, the font, the alignment, the shadings, etc. That's the level of control that format gives you. Remember that. Okay, with strings, why do we need string functions is because the only level of control that format gives you is with the font, with the alignment, and etc. But if you want more than that, you have to use string functions. Like over here, I'll create a calculated field. I hope you can see my screen. Okay. So I'll create a calculated field. Let's say I want to convert my product to uppercase. So I will just use a function called as upper. So upper of product name. Click on OK. Same way, you can create another calculated field which is nothing but lower, let's say products lowercase. So product of lowercase. Okay. My bad. We'll just quickly edit it. I forgot to write the formula. Edit. And here all I'm gonna give is lower of product name and click on OK. So it's simple function to convert something to uppercase and lowercase for readability, for usage, and etc. So I'll just add the uppercase over here and similarly I'll add the lowercase also over here. So you can see it has converted completely to uppercase and completely to lowercase. First thing clear? Is the first detail clear? Okay. Same way, there are more functions that we can explore around string. Okay. So we'll click on create calculated field. If you look at string functions, you can see there are a lot of functions that are present over here, right? Like for example, there is something like ltrim, there is something like rtrim. Ltrim and rtrim are functions that you will find even in ltrim, trim, rtrim are functions that you will find in Power Query. You will find it in Excel, similar functions. So these functions, what it does is these are used for cleaning. These functions are used for cleaning. So if, for example, if you have a string, let's say you have a string ABC, but you have some unwanted spaces along with ABC. Let's say there are some unwanted white spaces ahead of ABC. Again, unwanted white spaces ahead, behind ABC. So these unwanted white spaces, if you just want to clean it up and you want to have the data correct, cleaned over here, you can just use trim. Trim is supposed to remove all the trailing and prevailing white spaces over here. Okay, trailing and leading spaces. All the trailing and leading white spaces are removed using trim. If you only want to remove the leading, let's say only the leading white spaces, you can use L trim. If you only want to remove the white spaces on the right hand side, you can use R trim. So you can use trim for cleaning purposes. Okay. Same way, if you see, there are methods which will help you extract characters with the string as well. Like for example, the left function helps you extract character. Like for example, let's say I take left product. So here, if I use the left function, I'll give the string first, which is product name. And let's say I want to extract the first 12 characters from the left hand side. And I click on OK. And if I take up left and if I drop it over here, you will see for every product name, it has basically taken up the first 12 characters over here. From the left hand side, it has basically taken up the first 12 characters. So that's a way how you can extract leftmost, rightmost characters, etc. For rightmost, you will use the right function. Is that clear for everyone? Okay, can you guys like quickly complete the execution till here? Let me know once it's done. Okay, are we good? Shall we proceed? Okay. Another level of transformation or another level of, yeah, transformation. I'll call it transformation. Another level of transformation that we can do on our string columns or textual columns is splitting. Okay. If you look at product name, by default, I can see that every product name kind of has two sections, one before the comma and one after the comma, everything, right? And looks like the one that is before the comma is kind of the brand name, and the one after the comma is the actual product name. Looks like so, right? So if I just want to transform it, what I'll do is here on the left hand side on product name, since I'm trying to transform product name, I can right click on it and you can click on transform and then split. So when I click on transform and split, it will automatically find what is the splitting, what is the splitting separator. Separator or delimiter is the character by which a string gets splitted. Like comma is separating two parts. So comma becomes the space separator or the delimiter. It's called delimiter or separator. So comma becomes the separator or delimiter over here. In some cases, hyphen becomes, in some cases, space becomes, and etc. But when you use the split function, it automatically identifies what is the separator or delimiter in your data, and it splits the text in on the basis of that separator or delimiter. So what I'll do is I'll add split over here, and I'll add this. If you see, it has added split 1 and split 2 both. And if you notice clearly over here, split 1 has taken the part before the comma over here, and split 2 has taken the part after the comma. But we didn't even mention anything that you have to split it on comma or something. By default, it just understands that comma is the separator or the delimiter, and automatically splits the text on that. And this way, very easily, you can create another column called brand name, because this first split looks like it's a brand. So you can click create a brand name, and you can create on something like actual product name or SKU name or something like that, right? So was this useful tip that you can use later on? Yes. Other than this, okay, if I just remove these up, okay, let's say I remove the splits up, okay, and let's say even if I delete it as well, there is something called as custom split as well. Custom split is basically where you can choose what do you want to split by. So when I choose custom split, you can choose what do you want to split by. Let's say I want to split by space. Okay, so I've chosen space. Then you can choose where do you want to split it off at? At the first space, at the last space, or at all of them. Let's say I choose one, first one, and click OK. So in this case, see, it is splitted the moment it finds the first space. The moment it finds the first space, it has splitted right over there. Got it? So that's called custom split. Is that clear for everyone? Okay. So can you guys like quickly try it out?
Meghna, one question.
Mhm.
In case if the string has multiple separator, how it handles in case of normal split?
In normal split won't be able to handle multiple separators. Like it will just randomly choose the first separator that it finds, and it will separate on that. Let's say your separators are hyphen also, comma also, and space also. So it will choose hyphen because it found hyphen the first thing, and it will split on that. It won't be able to understand because there are multiple ones. So you will be able to split it using custom split over there.
Okay, okay. So generally, if split is used if only one separator is exist. If we know
Yeah,
that
and usually in data that you will see, usually there are always one separator. Sometimes, of course, there are mix of separators as well. In those cases, custom split is the best option. But in case there is one, the split is the best option. Okay, we're good. Great. Let's clear it up. Move to the next part, but let's delete extra unwanted columns. Okay. So calculations in Tableau kind of can be categorized in two ways. One is database calculations, all the calculations that you are making on the database, which is basically the data, the columns, and etc. that you're working on. That can be one set of calculations. And the other one are table calculations. The calculations that you make on the data that you are creating over here in the visualization area. That's called table calculations, right? So mm, let's say I take up category and I take up sales. Okay. And let's say I take it up as bar chart, swap it up. If I click on text, I will be able to see the numbers. So these are total sales numbers that I have. You already know that I can basically right click, and if I go to quick table calculation and if I choose percentage of total, this is basically one of the table calculations that we were talking about. So if I take a percentage of total, I will be able to see that over here, what is the percentage contribution of every category to the total sales. So what people do over here is to show along with the data, like herein to show the percentage and the data, they add up sales again. So if you see, there is two graphs that get created. One shows the absolute numbers and one show the quick table calculations or the percentage of totals. So since we have already discussed about percentage of total, I won't spend much time on this because we have discussed it earlier. Just wanted to quickly understand. I hope everyone remembers and is clear with percentage of total, right? All right. Now, let's see a little bit more about the table calculations that we can do. One more table calculation is called as running total. Anyone has any idea what is running total? Okay. Anyone who's interested in stock markets or usually works with stock markets? Okay, so if you guys have used stock markets, you might have heard about the term running total. Have you heard about it? Okay. So running total is nothing but cumulative sum. Okay. For example, if I take up subcategory and if I take up actually not take let's not take subcategory, let's take date. Running total always makes sense with date kind of columns. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll take order date and I'll add it in rows and let's take month. Okay. Let's take months. Oh, my bad. Okay. So we have all the months and let's take sales in every month. Okay. Now here I can see that for every month, what is the individual sales? Like what is the individual sales in every month? But when you use these kind of calculation for time series analysis or in stock markets, then the most common measure that is used is running total. Running total gives you an idea that how much was what was the trend compared to the previous month and etc. It's like a cumulative sum, okay? So if I just want that cumulative sum, what I'll do is I'll add sales again over here. One second. Let's add it up here in the rows. One second. Give me 1 minute. Okay. So herein what I'll do is I'll basically go to quick table calculation and choose running total. So when I choose running total, this is nothing but the showing the, it is nothing but going to show you the same sales, but in form of running total. How? We'll see. 1 second. Let me add it up. 1 second. Yes. Let me add it up as a discrete and let's take the sales again and add it up over here. So if you see, this is the total sales and this is the running total of sales. What I'll do is I'll quickly format it to show only numbers with no decimal places so that you can see the difference. Okay, now look at this. How running total is calculated. For row 1, like for January, till the month of January, obviously the total sales that I accumulated was 215K. That was the total sales that I accumulated till January. But when it came down to, when it came down to February, I have January and February, both the sales together over here. So what running total in this case will do is nothing but, okay, yeah, will be nothing but add up the sales of January and February together. So if you see over here for February, it has basically added up January and February, and that's how it got the number 393119. Nothing but addition of these two. When it comes to March, you have January, February, and March. So at March, it will show you what was the total sales that it got till March. And if you see over here, you can see what is the total sales that you accumulated till March. And likewise, till the end of the December, you see there is 3566440. This is nothing but the total sales that I've gotten in this entire 12 months over here. This entire 12 months over here. That's basically running total, and this is how running total is usually calculated. Is that clear for everyone? Is running total clear?
Concept clear. Can you show it again? Visualization.
Like how I created it?
Yes, yes.
So, okay, let's delete it up. So you have the month, okay. Now, if you take up sales and if you add it up over here, it will show you the total sales. What I did is I took up sales again so that I can see the comparison. That's why I took up sales again and I added it up again over here. 1 second, let's add it in the rows. So if you see it gets added in a continuous manner, what I'll do is I'll convert it to discrete. When I convert it to discrete, you will get two columns for sales. One is the sales that is added over here and one is the sales that is added up over here. The one that is added up over here, I just went to this and I went to quick table calculation and clicked on running total. That's how I got my running totals present over here. And here I just formatted it so that it shows numbers without any decimal point like this. Is it clear now? Okay, is the process clear now?
Yeah.
Right. And same thing, if you just convert it to a, like a line chart. Okay. And I'll just show you the difference that it creates. Let's just clear this up. What we'll do is we'll take up, let's take up something like category for now, just to show you the difference, how it creates. Sales. Let's add it up as a bar chart. Text, numbers. Okay. And now I'll take up sales again. So two bar charts will be created. One of them I'll convert it to quick table calculation running total. And if you see, you can see the difference. These are individual entities in individual absolute numbers, and these are the numbers that cumulatively is getting created. That's why I said running total is best with date, because you can see up till a particular date what is the total amount of sales that you have accumulated. So let's say I remove category, and let's say I take up let's say I remove category and I take up order date over here. So for every year, you can see, look at this. For every year till 2020, you can see what is the total sales in 2020, total sales in 2021, in 2022, and 2023. But if you look at the running total graph, you can see for every year, you can see like till 2020, this was the amount of sales that I got. Till 2021, this is the total amount of sales that I got. That's why for time related analysis or time series analysis, running total is very useful, because it is helpful in showing you at what point of time what is the amount of sales that you have accumulated. Is this clear till here? Okay, can you guys quickly complete your execution till here? How can we change from continuous to discrete? If you click on here in this, you can choose discrete. Like just down, click on the arrow, you can choose in discrete. And just to clarify everyone, discrete versus continuous. Continuous means your continuous value, a value which is like value which actually shows you the numerical importance of a particular value, particular field, like sales. What is the total sales? It's a continuous measure. If you put it on discrete, it will show you individual sales that has happened in every row. So that's the difference between discrete and continuous. Hey guys, you're being able to hear me, right? Sorry for the uh sorry for the break because I just had some people come over my house, so I just had to attend them quickly. That's the reason why I went off. But anyway, we are done. We are good. Any doubts, any questions still here? Okay, cool. Now, I'll show you a little bit more about table calculations that we can do in Tableau. Okay, so let's say I take up, let's create a cross tab. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll click up category, I'll click on subcategory, and then let's say I take up sales. Okay, now I have a question for you guys. Let's say for every category, subcategory, for every category, subcategory, show the sales contribution. Can you guys create something like this and send me the screenshot so that I can see what is your idea of putting through this data? I have a follow-up question though, but I'll show you that. But can you quickly put up the screenshot in the chat box? Everyone understood the question, right? Just let me know if you understood the question, yes or no. Okay, I want for every category and subcategory, what is the sales contribution? That's what I want. Is it clear now? I said you can just create your, I mean, whatever you understood out of the question, you can create your visualization and then send me the screenshot, and then I have a follow-up question on top of it. Now is the question clear for everyone? Okay, cool. Okay, I already got one answer. What about others? It shouldn't take that much time.
Do we have to show visualization or the
No,
normal?
I mean, I just want you to showcase the contribution over here. Just
Okay.
the sales contribution. Even if you don't put it up in a bar chart or something, that's fine. Because I kind of will do follow up on the same thing. So, yeah. Okay. So I think I got my answer pretty much. So all you had to do is just convert this from quick table calculation to percentage of total. That would show contribution, that would show sales contribution of every category, subcategory to the entire sales. But just to add more details in this particular cross tab, it's called a cross tab because of the structure. You know, you can see a category, you can see a subcategory and the sales corresponding to it. So it's called a cross tab for that matter. Now, just to see more details over here. Okay, details in the sense the totals and etc. How do I display it? How do I display the totals over here? Even if I don't take up, let's say I remove my quick table calculation, it's my total sales. But how do I show my total sales over here? That's the reason why I need table calculations and why I need to know about analysis tab over here. So there is an analysis tab here on the top toolbar. On the top, if you see, there is something called as analysis. It's an analysis tool option that we have. I'm gonna click on it. When I click on it, okay, let me see if you guys can see it. Yes. So when I click on it, you can see there are a lot of options that are present over here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on totals and I'm going to show column grand totals. So when I showed column grand totals, you can see the grand total that is created over here out of all the sales over here. And you can see the total sales as well, along with the individual sales. And again, when I convert this to a quick table calculation like percentage of total, you can see that it adds up to 100% exactly the way it should be. Right? Same way, if I go to analysis and if I click on totals and if I choose to show, let's say, add all subtotals, can you see it has added subtotal percentages as well? Like it is telling me for category furniture as a whole category, furniture is contributing how much to the entire 100%. So furniture totally is contributing 37.44% to total 100% over here. So that is the level of details that you can add with your subtotals and grand totals in your cross tab. Is that clear for everyone? Was this clear for everyone, guys? Yes or no? Okay. Can you guys like quickly just add it up to your cross tabs? Let me know once you're done.
just have one question. Here, is it possible to show the contribution of subcategories category wise? Like in furniture, there are 4 subcategories. Is it possible to show their distribution in that category?
So you mean to ask that whatever total sales I'm getting in furniture, I want to see that how much
Huh.
each category. That's a very good question, and I was about to cover it after this.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. By applying filter card, I guess. By applying filter card for what, Preksha?
Like to show each category out of 100% for like furniture,
Ah,
100% subcategory like that.
okay. Okay. No, not using filter card. It is something else. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Please share my screen. Now, look at the screen. Okay. Yep. So now, as I was saying, in this cross tab, I can see what is the total percentage. Like total sales, of course, will add up to 100%. And now if you see, your subtotals are basically nothing but totals furniture sales. Furniture sales, basically how much it is contributing total, as of a total to the 100%, right? That's what right now the whole cross tab shows, that furniture as a category, how much is it contributing to total sales, office supplies and technology likewise. But what if I want to do it for every subcategory? Like what if I want to find that in this subcategory, if I'm getting, let's say if I'm getting 100 rupees from furniture, then how much is each subcategory contributing to the 100 rupees? What if I want to find out something like that? So in that case, I have to use something called as compute using. Okay. So here, the table calculation that I have applied to sum of sales is quick table calculation. And if you look at, this is a percentage of total quick table calculation that I have applied. But on top of that, you have an option called as compute using. Right now, it is table down. Table down means it has computed the entire calculation from top to bottom down. So it has taken the entire percentages from here. That's how it has calculated it to be 100%. It is taking all the values together and taking it as one sales component. But if I move it to subcategory, okay, let's say I move it to first category. So when I move it to category, if you see, for every category, it will show 100%, 100%, 100%, right? So because it is saying that for every category, it's like something saying that every category, how much it is contributing to the sales, right? So what I'll do is I'll change it and I'll put it up to subcategory. Now, can you see that it has actually calculated for every category what is the amount of sales that every subcategory is contributing? Like in furniture, how much has bookcases contributed to the total sales that furniture has made? That's the level of calculation that compute using can build. It is showing you that, for example, art is 7.09%. This 7.09% is out of the total sales that we have got for office supplies. What is the percentage of sales that every subcategory in office supplies has given us? That's basically what compute using allows you to do. Is this clear till here? So problem solved. Someone was asking me this question. I forgot your name.
Yeah.
It's
Yes,
solved,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll show you one more example with not cross tab, my bad, with compute using. Let me clear the sheet, okay? Now what I'll do is, let's say I take up my, let's say I take up my subcategory, and let's take up the order date in columns, okay? So I have subcategory, I have year, and let's say I take up my total sales. So for every subcategory, every year, I have my total sales present over here. What I'll do is from analysis, I'll add my totals as well. So let's add column grand total over here. So I have the column grand total, and same way, let's add row totals as well. So I have my row total and column total over here. Now look at this. When I convert this to percentage, quick table calculation, let's say I convert it to percentage of total. Can you see that everything is added row wise? Row wise, it is showing me the total percentage over here. Like it is showing that for accessories, just for accessories, what is the contribution to the total sales that I have over here? Right, and I can see that accessories has made the highest sales in the year 2023. So I can quickly pick out this insight that in the year 2023 is when accessories has made the highest profit, the highest sales. Same thing goes for every for every subcategory. But what if I want the opposite? What if I want to see that in 2020, which particular subcategory has made the highest sales? Do you think that this calculation can give me that insight? That which subcategory has given me the highest sales in 2020? Do you think that's possible with this calculation? You can just let me know with a yes or no. Okay, do you want me to repeat the question? Okay, it's a no, right? Because here what is happening is I can basically over here see that for every subcategory, what is the total sales? It is adding up to 100% row wise. So I can definitely say that for which year did accessories perform the best versus the worst, but I can't say that along the column. I can't say that. Why? Because here it is not based on the column basis. You see, the grand total is not based on the column basis, it's based on the row. So that's why the other insight or the other way around, I can't bring out the insight that, this particular year, like in 2020, this category performed the best. For that, I need to change the calculations. So for that, I'll go here and I'll go to compute using. And now if you see it's table across. Table across means row wise. If I change it to table down, it will become column wise. Now for every column, you can see what is the totals, what are the contribution in sales. Then I can clearly make out from here that, let's say for the year 2020. For the year 2020, I can see that phones have made the highest profit in the year 2020. Same way you can make out the same details for every year over here, right? And let's say you want it up on across the entire table. Let's say you want the calculation across the entire table, not across just a row or a column. Let's say across the entire table. So you can just quickly use compute using and you can use table. So this will do your calculation across the entire table. See, the entire percentage is getting up to 100%. So that's the magic that you can create with compute using. Is this clear for everyone? Okay, if you
The
guys are, go ahead, yeah.
that entire table thing not understood.
Sorry.
Uh, you're doing compute using, right?
Yeah.
For the column wise, across and down, I understood, but what you said total table that I didn't understand.
Okay. So earlier what was happening is it was adding up based on the column. When it's table down, it's adding up based on the column, and this was coming up as 100%, right?
Yes.
And for table across, it was adding up for row, and this was coming as 100%, right?
Yes.
Now what is it doing is it's not taking one column or one row. It's taking the entire table now. So everything in total should add up to 100%. All the subcategories and all the years at total. So for every year, every subcategory is seeing what is the percentage to entire sales that I got in 4 years and across all the subcategories. That's the difference. So now
Okay.
it is
Okay.
across
Yeah.
everything. That's the difference.
Among the 4 years and among all the subcategories,
Yes.
it is taking 100%.
Yes,
Okay.
right. Okay. Okay. If you guys are clear, can you quickly complete till here? Then we'll move to the next one. Okay, are we good? Any questions still here or are we done? I can see only 3 done. What about others? Okay, great. let's clear the sheet. We are done with the table calculations and we are done with compute using. There are two more topics left, and the first one we'll see is rank or ranking functions. Okay, so let me share my screen once more. Okay, so what I'll do is let's see if I can do with this data, or I would create another data for this. Let's take subcategory and quantity aggregated to maximum. Yeah, I won't be able to do it with this one. So give me 1 minute. Let me quickly create a data that we can use. Okay, so I've created a small table over here. I'll paste it in the chat box as well. I've created a small table, category and sales. Okay, now I've copied that table. Okay, I have copied that table and I'll just open up Tableau screen once again. Give me 1 minute, guys. Okay, I'm back. Cool. I'll just paste. You guys saw the data that I have sent in the chat box, right? Okay, now what I'll do is I'll just paste it up over here. Okay, what I'll do is let me clear the sheet data, and here what I'll do, I'll just paste it up. Okay, so look at this. When I paste it up, I've just done a control V, just a simple control V. It pastes the category and the sales over here, and it gets added as a new data. It gets added as a new data called clipboard. Clipboard means nothing but something that copies and pastes your data. Okay, and orders and sample that we have is completely different. It stays as it is, nothing gets affected. Okay, so this is just to showcase you guys. Here in clipboard, I've simply taken some category and see. Why I have done this is because I want to rank the sales. I want to rank each category based on their sales. Again, hear me out. I want to rank each category based on their sales. So what I'll do over here quickly is I'll start creating my ranking functions. So for that, here on sales, I'm going to click on create calculated field. So ranking functions are basically something that will allow you to um, rank your categories or rank your textual fields based on a numerical value. Like it's very simple. In SQL, actually it's a lot of job for doing the same thing. It's called window function in SQL. If someone has heard it up, it's called window function in SQL, right? The same thing that we do in SQL is a lot more tougher. Why? Because we have to write a lot of codes for that. In Tableau, it's just a few function, just a few line of code that you might write. Okay, not even few line, just one piece of word that you write. Okay, so ranking functions is as simple as, for example, let's say sorry, let's say a person is trying to understand who are the top performing or who are the bottom performing students. So what will he do? He will rank all the students based on their marks and will be able to understand who are top performing and who are bottom performing. So ranking functions are used for that purpose. Okay. The first function that I'll use is rank. And all I'll do is rank of, and you have to give expression. See, it's mentioned expression. There's a difference between expression and number. When you say expression, you can you can add an aggregate function, sum of sales, average of sales, or anything of that sort. When it says number, you have to add the column itself. So by seeing the function itself, you will be able to understand. Here I'll use sum of sales and I'll click on OK. Now what I'll do is I'll add the rank over here. Now can you see, let me just format the rank to integer value so that we can make out the difference. By default, it gets added as values over here. Okay, but now can you see how ranking function has worked over here? How many of you can make it out? Sorry, nobody? Nobody can make out what happened over here? Okay, let me put it in descending. Now see, it's very simple, right? It has basically ranked all the categories based on the sales. Okay, now if you see, obviously the highest sales got the first rank and then the next one and likewise. But when it came to category C and B, both C and B had the same sales. So when both C and B has the same sales, what rank does is it gives the same rank to both the categories. So it was supposed to be 3 and 4, but because both of them have the same sales, it will get 3 and 3 over here. And since this both these categories got the rank 3 and 3 and 4 went missing, 4 will get skipped in rank and the next rank allotted will be 5. So whenever there are duplicates or whenever there are ties, to be more specific, whenever there are ties, rank is going to skip the number of duplicates or the number of ties and give the next possible integer to the next category. That's what rank does. So here, if there would have been one more 20, the rank still would have been 3, but the next category would have got the rank 6. That's how rank works. Is that clear for everyone? Great. Same way, what I'll do is I'll create some more ranking functions and you will be able to see the difference between ranking functions. The next ranking function that I'll use is called as dense rank. Dense rank exactly operates like a rank, but there is a little bit difference between dense rank and rank, and you will be able to see it. Wait. So when I add dense rank over here, okay, there is a error in the, yeah, one more bracket was missing. Okay. Now when I add dense rank over here, let me format it. Okay. See, dense rank work exactly like rank. The only difference came over here. It again allotted same rank to both the categories. It allotted same rank to both the categories. The only difference was that now the fifth category, instead of getting rank 5, got rank 4. So what dense rank does is, the only difference between rank and dense rank is in the way they handle ties or duplicates. So when there is a tie or when there is a duplicate in dense rank, it obviously allocates same rank to all the duplicates, but then it doesn't skip any rank. It instead gives the continuous rank after that. That's how dense rank works. Is that clear for everyone? Is dense rank clear for everyone?
Meghna, when this rank is used, because here we are skipping that fourth
That's a
value, right?
very good question. Yeah. So your question is, when is rank used versus when is dense rank used, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a question that I have to you, right? I give this question to every student, and I was about to ask this question to you guys. I'll give you a time, but don't Google the answer. Okay, I'll give you time till tomorrow. Can you think of one scenario where rank will be preferred versus a scenario where dense rank will be preferred? And I was asked this question in one of the interviews. So this is a very important question, the one that you have hit. Can everybody think of that by tomorrow? Don't try to Google the answer. Can you think of that scenario? Think about it. Okay, I'll give you a hint. Okay, I'll give you a hint. Think about scenarios where you will choose certain number of people, where you'll choose certain number of people based on your rank or dense rank. Think about those scenarios. That's a hint. Okay, cool. So Debashish, we are good?
Yes, I'm good. One more question is, when you gave this data, right? How did you paste it here in the calculation?
Just
That
control V. Just simple control V. You have
so
copied the data.
copy from the chat window and just Control V here. It will
No,
come
so then the
automatically.
chat window, it gets pasted as text, but when you just create a simple Excel sheet of category and sales, just a simple Excel sheet, and copy from there and paste it in your visualization board.
Okay, so automatically it will formulate the
Yes,
tables and
yes,
columns.
yeah. Yeah. If you paste from chat, it won't get copied as a tabular format. But if you paste it from your Excel sheet, just open an Excel sheet and put some categories, put some sales, copy that and paste it here.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. Now I'll show you some more ranking functions. Create, calculated field, and the next rank is rank modified. It's called rank modified. Can you see rank modified? And here I'll give sum of 6. Okay. Rank modified is similar. Again, it's very similar, but Again, slight difference with how it handles duplicates. Okay, format. So rank modified all is that all it this is something that is not present in SQL. This is only in Tableau. Okay. So what it does is when it comes to tie, it skips the lower number and instead assigns the higher number. Like it skips 3 and instead assigns 4, 4 and 5. So opposite of rank. Opposite of rank is dense. Opposite of rank is rank modified. It skips the lower number and it instead assigns the higher, larger number as the rank over here. Rank modified is clear for everyone? Can I get a quick yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. And others? Yes. Okay, great. The last rank for today is it's called row number in SQL. When you learn window functions in SQL, it's called row number. Here it's called rank unique. It's sum of sales. Okay. So what rank unique does, it's again, it is very different from rank dense rank and rank modified, because rank unique, it doesn't care. It doesn't care whether there is duplicate or whether there is no duplicate. It anyway just assigns numbers, unique serial numbers to every category. So if you want to assign unique serial number to every category, that's when you will use rank unique. So see here, there is duplicate. It didn't care. It anyway gave the rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where rank unique is used. So when you don't want to handle your duplicates and when you don't want to give importance to your duplicates, that's when you will use rank unique. Is that clear for everyone? Is ranking functions clear for everyone till here? Okay. Can you guys quickly complete your execution till here?
Meghna?
Okay, done everyone? Are we good till here? Did you guys understand all the topics that we discussed today? Was it clear for everyone? You guys can let me know with a yes or a no. All right, great. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and tomorrow is gonna be the last class for Tableau as well. Okay, so all the syllabus and everything will get completed tomorrow, and that's the reason why I did not update the assignment, because I am waiting for the entire syllabus to be completed and all the assignments will get uploaded likewise. Okay, so we'll complete the syllabus tomorrow. All right. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for joining in. I'll see you guys tomorrow again, and thank you.